Take one.
Good afternoon. My name is Emery Jones, and I'm emulating from Kennedy Studio. And of course, I would like to contact through Facebook, web internet, Mrs. Catherine Jackson, the mother of Michael Jackson. Dear Mrs. Jackson, here I'm holding a David Guest production of Michael Jackson, the icon. And thus, I would like to take the time to say, as a Michael Jackson prodigy and fan, thank you for making this particular film, bibliography about your son's life. As you know, of course, Michael Jackson meant a lot to a lot of people, millions of people, but especially to me. It was one of my deepest dreams to someday perform on stage with your son. As a matter of fact, only days or maybe even hours of his announcement in 2009 about his concert that I was actually on the website trying to contact him about new and innovative ideas. Also, I want you to know, Mrs. Jackson, what is especially striking to me was that how critical positive mentors are in your life. I didn't realize that your son was learning around so many people. For example, Bobby Taylor, the gentleman who took him by his wings, and actually the whole group of J5, and mentored him and taught them about the field of communication and singing. And of course, Barry Gordy. I would like to thank Tito Jackson, as well as his sister Robbie Jackson. Also would like to thank Michael Jackson's manager, Frank Diallo, and of course his closest friend, David Guest. Since I've gotten this video from the library to loan, I've been studying his life and of course the different types of changes that show business takes you through. And with that, I won't go any further because I don't have a lot of time on my tape. I would just like to say thank you, Mrs. Jackson, for sharing this very warm and heartfelt video with the world. And I'm sure Michael, your son, would have wanted his life to be presented in this fashion. Thank you, Mrs. and Mr. Jackson. Before this video concludes, I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank another friend. His name is radio announcer Mel Devon. This gentleman is from television and of course radio V103. As an announcer, he was working for them for the past decades, since moving on to Rio de Janeiro. However, perhaps through the internet I could, just play a sound bit to let him know that we here in the Chicago suburbs still love him and we miss him, and of course I will always be working to try to bring him back home. This is dedicated to you, Mr. Devon. don't have all of the technology that most of the big brothers and sisters in radio and television, you tend to try to improvise in order to try to get your message. Perhaps the sound did not come as through my system as it should have. Usually, this system works actually on a computer. But since I don't have a laptop, I'm working from an in-home studio with analog speakers. So with that, I want to bid you good night. This is Emory Jones, Jr. reporting or communicating, broadcasting from Lyric Kennedy Studio here in Arlington Heights. Thank you.